Okay, got my stool, I'm ready to go. And first of all, I've just got to say, about 5:30 when it started pouring rain, oh, me of little faith, thought, oh no, it's going to rain, no one's going to come. But guess what? You all persevered and you all came anyway. I am so excited. I'm going to be smiling tomorrow morning. Thank you. Thank you. Lynchburg is just the greatest place in the world because you really, really do care. And it just makes my heart happy. Now I'm going to go to script. What I was script to say. And good evening. I'm Joan Foster and I'm your mayor. And I want to thank you again for being here tonight. And I want to thank my fellow council members. I want to thank the vice mayor and John Hughes, who is our assistant city manager, our vice mayor, Trinae Tweedy. I want to thank them because since July 1, every meeting we've had, and we have them weekly, we have put poverty at the front of our agenda. And I'm very grateful because I think tonight it's showing not only was it on our agenda, but it was on yours too. Tonight is the beginning of a journey. And I am so encouraged that so many of you all have come out in the rain to take the first steps in the journey with us. At City Council's fall retreat, we all agreed in this community, 24% poverty rate was unacceptable. And that is why we have asked you here tonight. We're going to launch this community endeavor entitled From Poverty to Progress. We want to listen to all of your ideas, and we want to listen to your thoughts on how to turn the situation around. I want to ask all of you to join me because it's a journey that not only Trinae and myself and John have been on, but my fellow council members have been on it too, and our city manager and our deputy city manager. So as I call their names, I want them to stand tonight, and then you can applaud afterwards. But I want you to know that they're on the journey too with us. So join me in welcoming our fellow council members, Councilmember Sterling Wilder, Councilmember Mary Jane Dolan, Councilmember Turner Perro, and, of course, we're up here. But I have to let you know that Randy Nelson has been delayed because, he is a lawyer and he has a case that's going on, and he sends his regrets. And our Councilmember Jeff Helgeson also is out of town today. And he asked me this morning, he texted me, please give my regrets. I'm there in spirit. Both of them are here in spirit tonight. And I also want to recognize our city manager, Bonnie Severchek. Bonnie, I know you're here. Bonnie, way in the back. And our deputy city manager, Charles Hartgrove. And then we have some very special folks, because they're the folks that will be the captains of these rooms, and they're going to be our champions after this night is over. And I want to recognize, because their names hopefully are supposed to be on that screen, they're our facilitators and our scribes who have already been part of a training and have agreed to do this and go on this journey that's going to be about a year long. So I can't name them all, but I'm going to ask them to all stand up. You're here. Come on. Come on, facilitators, scribes, all of you guys. Thank you all. So, I know many of you all have been working very diligently to address poverty in this community. And we thank you for that. Others of you all know too well the barriers that people in poverty face because some of you live it every day. Some of you may have family, friends, or coworkers who are part of that 24% living in poverty. As a reference point, just for a little definition here, a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, with an income of less than $23,624 is considered living at the poverty level. Now, it is time for all of us to seize the opportunity and take collective action to address these barriers that are keeping our folks from thriving, and the impact that this has on our families who are striving to move from poverty to progress. The time has come for all of us to work together, set actionable goals, and hold each other accountable. No more working in silos. I'm going to repeat that. No more working in silos after tonight. In order to make a sustainable, accountable difference, we must work together. Now, when I say we, I don't mean government, just government. We're going to be a partner. We're going to be a player. But that means private sector, businesses, nonprofits, colleges, neighborhoods, houses of worship, individuals, and groups. We need all of you. We're going to need each of you to work with us as we move this community from poverty to progress. It's not going to happen overnight. It'll take hard work, it's going to take commitment, it's going to take new ideas, and a shift in mindset from helping people to just maneuver their way in poverty to one of applauding them when they reach self-sufficiency and success. We need to be united in this fight to make a change in this community. And we are united, us, up here tonight, in our plea for you to join us. You have a commitment card in your program tonight. Think long and hard about signing up and coming on this journey with us. If you just want news about our journey, that's okay. And I want you to leave here with saying that wasn't just a talk session. We did not want that tonight. I've been to too many of them in this community, and others too. We want some action, and we're going to hold each other accountable, and we're going to measure our successes. And then in the next year, we're going to come back together, and we're going to applaud and talk about our successes, and then move to the next action step. You know, thank you. Thank you. Lynchburg is an awesome, great place, and we say to live, work, and play. Let's make that true for every citizen, adult, child living in this community. We can do it together with a committed group of people. We can change the poverty rate in this community. Thank you for coming out. Now I'm going to turn to our Vice Mayor Trenae Tweedy. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor Foster, and good evening, everyone. You know, we were a little skeptical, and we were praying, and sometimes you think rain deters people from coming out, and I really look at this crowd and I think I'm thankful for rain like I am for sunshine, because we need rain to fertilize and nurture, to grow. So tonight is a growing night in our city. So I'm thankful for you being here. As the mayor has said, a 24% poverty rate is unacceptable. We know that there are many barriers that hinder our families from being able to move from poverty to progress. And tonight, we are asking you to spend some time talking about those barriers and to create action steps that will help remove them. But tonight is only the beginning. In your programs, you have the commitment card that the mayor referenced, and we hope that you will be willing to continue beyond tonight to work with the group of your choice to address the issues. Create action ideas and measurable outcomes. Assistant City Manager John Hughes will talk with you more about tonight's process and long-range plans, but our ultimate goal is to identify at least 50 willing and able, and I'm going to repeat that, willing and able families living in poverty per year, and to work with them to move them from poverty to progress. It's not just our 50. We all probably know someone in our immediate environment who could be a part of that 50 or up to 100. But as the mayor said, it's a difficult goal. Let me stop. We can be scripted or we can be comfortable. And I want to be comfortable. I really do. This is too important. We are working to make 50 willing and able families in poverty per year to help them move from poverty to progress. It's a difficult goal, but we believe that it is one that is achievable. But as the mayor has said, we can't do it without all of you. While government certainly has a role, the answers are not in City Hall. The answers rest with all of you out there. Please remember that when we break to go to the different conversations about the barriers, we need your voice. I'm going to say it again. We need all of your voices. Please don't sit back and think your voice is not important. This is your community too, and we need to have every voice heard. Again, thank you so much for coming tonight and in the future, and let's do great work when we leave this room and go into our breakout sessions.
I'm going to come back because I forgot to recognize someone, and it's unacceptable. I'd like to recognize our representative to the House of Delegates, Representative Scott Garrett. Would you stand, please, and thank you for being here tonight. I know you're here. Oh, there he is. Thank you, my friend, for being here tonight. Now, here's John. Introduce the video? All right. We promise we practice this. That's okay. We didn't want to keep you in here long. We do have a video that's just a little bit about the face of poverty in our community. And then I'm going to turn it over to John, and then you're the stars of the show afterwards.
I live paycheck to paycheck. I still have to, even with the money that I make when it comes to paying my rent, electricity, cable bill, internet for school, I still end up short sometimes. Every day I'm writing down and say, okay, this is what my paycheck's going to be. This is how much my bills are. What am I going to do about the situation? So I have to short a bill here in order to pay the next bill.
Poverty really does have an impact on students from the moment they walk in our schoolhouse doors in kindergarten. It can impact their ability to be ready to learn, being able to have a mindset that they can be successful, a growth mindset.
When I started here a year and a half ago, it was hard for me to imagine the vast amount of poverty that exists in Lynchburg. We see an average of 600 families a month, which is about 1,350 people, and 400 of those are children who, through no fault of their own, are in situations where they need help, they need food, and we're trying to do that. One person, one nonprofit cannot change the city or change the world. But when we each come together and we try to make a difference in one person, one family at a time, the cumulative effect is amazing.
And the communities that are going to thrive the rest of this century are those that are figuring out how to mitigate those effects of poverty. And so I applaud the city leadership, the mayor, vice mayor, the city council for taking the opportunity to bring the community together in conversation and also in action to systematically address the effects of poverty and find out what we're doing that's working well and what we still need to do to have even better outcomes for our students and our community.
Versus us actually trying to grow and better the economy in itself. I mean, the economy right now is where it's at because I feel like the system is keeping people there. If they were to actually help people grow, help with job skills, help them find better jobs, and actually help assist the ones who are trying, then we will be able to put more money in the economy, more money into the city, and we'll be able to see things grow faster.
I just want to personally thank you for coming tonight. You know, in our community, we have this motto that Lynchburg is a great place to live, work, and play. But for 24% of our population, 30% of those are children, they've lived in generational poverty for many, many years. So tonight, we're asking you and our whole community to step up with us and join this journey to move some families out of poverty. And I know it'll be a long journey, but thank you for taking this first step tonight. Not only tonight, but in the future, we would want for you to commit on maybe lasting with us for the next year on this journey, and that you will work toward providing some resources for those families who are going to move out of poverty in this next year. So thank you again for coming.
Good evening. Sounds so sad. I want to thank everyone who put that video together, Joanne Martin and the communications and marketing team did a wonderful job with that, as well as what we have out here in front and coordinating all of the logistics for this event. I'm really appreciative of the collaborative effect that the city employees have had in the culmination of this great kickoff to the city's poverty initiative. I think that sets the tone for what we need to do as a city. Work together collectively, without biases, without prejudice, without self-aggrandizement, without selfishness, pettiness. Those are all things, don't look surprised. We all have those. We have implicit biases. Admit it, own it. Face up to it. Feel uncomfortable for a second because you've been comfortable for too long. Now I guess I'll go to my script. So we're here to talk about the poverty initiative here, and I'm moving forward in telling you what to do tonight. We're talking about community dialogue. At its simplest, dialogue is a process that facilitates better understanding of each other's and our own positions and enhances our ability to make informed decisions. In listening to others during true dialogue, we should begin to value diverse opinions and thoughts. These opinions are to be embraced, not disregarded. We need to realize that at this movement, is what I'm calling it, a movement, any movement is not about us. Therefore, you need to realize that unselfish benevolence is required. Unselfish benevolence is required. It's not about you. It's not about us. It's about the community and those we're trying to help. This process enhances our ability to make informed decisions and make an impact. So in these breakout groups that they've so eloquently already addressed what we're supposed to do here, you need to pick one area that's on your program there, that's deep within your heart, or even something that you want to learn something new about. We have a limited window of time there, so we won't be bouncing around to different ones. Perhaps at another event we will do that. But we want to have your opinion heard in these breakout sessions. Choose one, go there. There's some people that will help direct you there. There should be signs outside as well. The facilitators are encouraged to have organic group discussion. So as Vice Mayor said, we want you to feel free to have your voice heard. If it is not, because we have a limited amount of time, feel free to send us an email, fill out a form, whatever you need to do so that we do have that diverse opinion on deck. We have some answers or some questions that need to be answered in these sessions. And that will also be part of the facilitator's responsibility, is to have answers, or not answers totally, but your answers individually so that we can have a collective look at them, answers to 4 questions. So you see this information on the board here, on the screen here. Those are the questions that we'll need to answer. There will be scribes in the room that will just take, it's a generic brainstorm. They'll take your information so that we can process that a little later. As the mayor alluded to, there will be commitment forms also, so take that seriously if you want to continue work on this movement. Eventually, the mayor would like to have a coalition that is officially city council sponsored and endorsed. So as with the other committees and social groups that are under city council, she would like to have one that is addressing poverty officially. That's a long process. So on the way to that process, we'd like to have members of the community who are involved in each subject area and who are willing to have people collaborate with them, who are willing to hear those diverse opinions that I spoke about and are not willing to preach to everyone about what we all know as professionals is the best way to handle things, which we do sometimes with a good heart. But in any case, that will lead to a team of individuals that will process the information from tonight, move forward, gain speed, and end up with the council coalition that the mayor is speaking of. That would be only one entity, though, because in community dialogue, the point is to keep it going. We don't want this to be the cause du jour or the fad that we all take and say that we can feel good about ourselves. It needs to be something that is relevant and is going to continue growing. You've probably heard the mayor speak about a 1996 article that she references over the last few weeks where there was a 19% poverty rate, and the mayor at that time said we need to do something about it. And there were a lot less people in the city. So that probably correlates to this 24% where we are now. So 20 years from now, we do not want to have this same conversation and look back and say what we didn't do and what we have failed to do. And so as you go to your individual sessions, I hope that you will keep an open mind. I hope that you will open your mouth and let people know what you think is relevant in this situation as we move forward. All power to all the people.
Mr. Hughes, tonight is Joan Foster's birthday.
Yes, it is.
So, to say thank you for doing this, why don't we sing happy birthday to her? Joan, happy birthday to Joan. You with me? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Joan. Happy birthday to you.
And we won't ask her how old. If you want, we did have a cupcake for her at the end. So Turner kind of jumped ahead of program, but that's okay. Because she was about doing the work, and this day worked for her, and that just speaks to the person that she is, even for a personal day.
Oh, this is the biggest birthday gift ever, the best. Absolutely. This is the only night this auditorium was available in the spring. And so I figured, you know what? It's just meant to be. And I want you to know that in 1996, that mayor was Pete Warren. Pete Warren, yeah, clap. Because Pete Warren recruited me to get on council. He's gone, but you can count on this. He's been whispering in my ear for the last 4 years, you better do something about this. So here we are tonight. I have one final announcement. Someone has lost their keys. They're up here, has an MVP card. So please don't go home without your keys, because guess what? You won't be able to. So we have them go forth and create. Thank you.
All right, let me check. How about with an education lens on what education tools as we this is our lens today. So what tools in the education land can we bring to help those 50 families?
Programs to address the achievement gap. Well, you know, kids that are in low income or under-resourced environments don't have books, they are on free or reduced lunch, so they don't have food. So there's a program that addresses that, works with educators to provide a program that...
Mentoring, but I think the mentoring would be beneficial to start much earlier than high school. I think that was almost too late. Mentoring programs. Yeah. Right, and I'm just thinking it started much earlier.
Yes, sir.
But there also may be, silos. We do so much here. We're really trying to get that out. But as far as connecting, when we talk about poverty and progress, maybe a day in the life type of event. So where the food pantries or Lynchburg Roads or whatever we have can meet up with someone like, hey, let me walk with you. Let me take this 2-hour bus ride to wherever you are. And, we as people with cars, we don't understand things that we take for granted. So if we're spending that 2 hours, that 3 hours, or doing whatever it takes, we're also seeing things that someone, that we're trying to serve may not see that perspective, and we're also sharing things. So it's a two-way communication, and I think that will kind of help us get to that progress as well.
Better quality.
Think about your life. If you did not grow up in poverty and you have not experienced generational poverty, and you think about your life and you think about each item in your life as a domino. And if somebody were to take one of them away or knock down one of them, there are barriers in between. There are, maybe your parents could help you out. Maybe you could go stay with a friend. Maybe you have somebody who could work on your car and would let you make payments, or whatever it is. There are things that you have that would keep all those dominoes from falling down. People in poverty don't have that.
Education preventative care.
And for us to not to just look for the city to do all this, but we as a whole, the church they need that responsibility as well as the city.
So utilizing the churches?
Yeah, they need to be involved. They need to know all about this thing to help people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those churches.
Great. Early intervention going on, because we are not going to let these children go hungry. And you need food yourself to concentrate. And that is what's wrong now. We got so many that it's in the school system. The only meal that they really get is the breakfast that they get at school. And when they go home,
I think that throughout engagement, families will welcome the mayor.
Go ahead. All right. What a good night. We went, thank you. Oh my gosh. I probably won't sleep till tomorrow. You know, I'm kind of high energy, and y'all pump me up. And I thought the facilitators were awesome. Let's give them, yes. Thank you all. But the most awesomeness of all were all of you all. Yeah. And I know some had to leave, pick kids up, whatever, but we have a clear box outside full of commitment forms. And I thought, I know. And I think it's so important that you understand, and if someone said, I didn't go to that talk, that's all they do, you tell them that is not the case. That you had almost the last word. It was what you said in those groups that we are going to let you know about. All of you all have our city website at the bottom of your program, which is lynchburgva.gov. We're going to place it's going to take us forever, but we promise to have it up hopefully by the first of the week. All the different breakout sessions, everything that came out of those breakout sessions. We're going to have a full page ad in the May 16th News in Advance. I know. So I think it's going to take half the paper, and I'm just going over there and grovel and tell them they got it, you know. Sharice, help me out here. Tell them we've got to give us half the paper so we can get all your all's ideas. So, here's what will happen. Your facilitators will be the champions of your ideas. We will meet and come together as a leadership team, and we're going to look those over. Share them with City Council, bring it to a work session. But our next steps are left up to you. If you want to meet again, that's left up to your facilitators. I really continually heard about a website. We need a portal where everyone can go in and look at what's going on. So hopefully we'll really seriously look at that suggestion. All right, I also had a question about your commitment forms. Thank you for signing them. It said 3 more meetings, and the question was, does that mean committee meetings or the breakout session meetings, or does that mean, what does that mean? It means we're having 3 more sessions like this. 1 in the fall, 1 in the winter, and 1 in the spring. We're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate what happened and what some of the pieces that evolved from tonight and your suggestion with your action steps. Food. We had the food donated tonight from the Virginia Cooperative Extension. Yes, thank you.
Please take it.
Please take it. And if you feel guilty taking food because you have an abundance, give it to someone who does not. Take it to someone, an individual, an organization, and share the fresh produce, because that's very expensive. She was talking about the peppers, $5 $5 at Kroger. So, take it, do not feel guilty, share it. It was meant to be a gift to you for coming out tonight, or a gift to some of our neighbors in the community. So, we'll see you again in the fall. And just call us at 455.
We had a cupcake.
Yeah. 3990 is John Hughes. You can reach him. You can reach anyone in city leadership. 455-3990. So I'm going to let Trinae have the last word. I promise I'm going to keep you long. So thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart for coming out in the rain tonight. This community is just the best. Thank you.
I told you we had a cupcake, okay? So we are presenting her with her sweets tonight. There you go.
I'm going to make a wish.
Make a wish. There you go. And we want to thank you. We know some of the quarters. Some of the quarters were tight. We apologize, but then we don't, because we know sometimes some of the best work comes out of us when we're in a tight squeeze. So thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you.